So as you guys already know, the Google 2022 October spam update has really caused devastation to many websites, including some on my own. Fortunately for me, a lot of the best practices that I'm going to talk about right now, I was using for the past 6 to 7 months. When I was originally when I was originally hit by the May 2022 October update, that's when I made these changes to my strategy. And so none of my clients were hit, but a lot of my test websites that I use to test different strategies and to really for updates like that come up and that don't really, Google is not very vocal about it. They just say it's an update. And so you need to figure out what's going wrong. And so having these websites, a lot of them have AI generated content, a lot of them have content that use strategies that have been disproven a while back. And many of them use strategies that many SEOs talk about today. But I don't use those strategies. But the reason why I have those websites and the reason why I test, and I continue testing, and I'm testing even today, and I will always keep testing, is because Google doesn't tell us exactly what it's doing. And so we need to figure it out. This update was devastating because a lot of people were using strategies that are outdated, and they were following advice from gurus that honestly were just trying to sell courses, and even the courses would have outdated information. And with SEO, you don't want to use outdated information because Google is changing and it's consistently making those changes to its algorithm, and so you need to continue evolving your strategy because that's the only way that you will rank high and that you'll continue to rank high, and that is why I make these videos. So I also do SEO for a living. So if you're looking for someone to do SEO for your website, do not hesitate to contact me. There's a link in the description. Click the link, fill out the short Google form, and I'll get in touch with you. I don't leave my email on my videos or under my videos for obvious reasons because I don't want to be spammed. I already get a lot of spam emails. I don't want to be spammed, and I don't want to be spammed with questions that honestly I've already been answered. Okay, so this video is about recovering from the Google 2022 October spam update. Before I go into exact steps, it's important to talk about why these steps are important and why have so many websites been penalized. Now, you might have remembered that there was a there was a helpful content update last month, and not many people were affected by that update, but they and that was because they made changes to the algorithm, but those changes were not rolled out, and so they had coded everything and they had not hit the execute button. But a small subsection of websites were hit. Fortunately, some of those websites were mine, so I was able to test exactly what Google was doing, and I came up with a strategy and I recovered those websites. So I already knew 25 to 30% of what I needed to do to recover my websites when the update hit. And so I also battle hardened some of my websites before the October update hit. I had an inkling that there would be an update in October, the same way I have an inkling that there is going to be an update at the end of November or the beginning of December. So you need to watch out for that as well. That's going to be the end of year update. So it's going to be the final update of the year, and then we're going to see another update sometime in February 2023. So make sure that you watch this video from the beginning to the end because I'm going to go over all the strategies. And then if you have a question, just leave it in the comments below. Okay, so the first thing you'd want to do is audit your backlinks. Now, if you see the graphic on the right-hand side of your screen, you'd see that this website just crashed and burned. This screenshot is from last year, by the way, and you can see that this website had crashed and burned. And then I didn't really touch this website for obvious reasons, but this is a test website, and it was further hit back in May, and then I didn't even touch this website back in May. There was a bit of recovery in somewhere in January, but after that it sort of crashed again. And so what I did was this screenshot is from January 2022. This is where things had improved with the website. And really, this website has not been down since. This has just been an upward trajectory. The reason why I have this old screenshot and I'm not putting the most current screenshot is because I'm preparing to sell this website, and so just respecting the privacy of the person who's buying the website, and they did not want me to reveal a lot of information about it. And so I have this old screenshot, and one of the things that I did to recover this website, and why it has not been hit by the update, and why I'm being paid such good money for the website, is because it was not hit by the update. Number one, it was not hit by the helpful content update. It was not hit by the update in May. Sorry, the update in October. And even all those mini updates that everyone else was talking about. So this website is a very strong website. It's been gradually growing. And so what did I do to battle harden this website? Well, one of the first things I did, I disavowed all the PBN links. So you'd want to, if you've been buying links on Fiverr, I would say right off the bat, if those are cheap links, just go ahead and disavow them. You do not want those links linking back to your website. Now a lot of people are going to say, PBN links work, and we have case studies of PBN links work. I would agree, PBN links work, but your PBN links need to be very, very good. And honestly, people are buying links from Fiverr, or those who are selling links from Fiverr, and those are not very good PBN links. Or very good PBN links can cost anywhere from $40 right up the way to $100 a link. So if it's really high quality PBN links, that would not be the case. And also comment links. So if you've got comment links linking back to your content, you do not want to have that. And regardless of how good the comment is, in most cases it's just automated comments with links. You want to disavow that. This is something old school practice back in 2019. Google had is one of the spam updates, and they had just devastated websites that were getting comment links. But people still use this technique, and a lot of people that have reached out to me have comment links linking back to them. Disavow those links. And the next thing is links on website AI generated content. So if you've got a backlink from a website that has AI generated content, even if it's not a page, even if it's not that specific page that's linking back to your website that has AI generated content, but the website has AI generated content, you do not want to link from that website, not because it's a bad link, but because Google would have most probably penalized that website. And by penalizing a website, it's penalizing also its link juice and its credibility, and that is being passed down to you. So that automatically means that you have less credibility, your website has less credibility, even if all your content on your website is human written. If it has a link back from a website that has AI generated content, you want to have that removed ASAP. Also, badly written content, just as bad. I mean, people talk about AI generated content. I talk about AI generated content being bad. But if your website is written by someone on, probably someone you hire on Fiverr, $5 100 words, or even $10 for 100 words, I mean, that's going to be like poorly written content. Always hire someone who's a professional writer. As I said, I know a guy who's a very good writer. He writes for me. I write a lot of my own content as well, and I have another content writer. So we have a team of 2 or 3 writers. This guy's a freelancer, so he's someone that comes in and does edits for me, writes stuff for me, and his writing is very good. I trust him. So if you guys need to reach out to him, just let me know. Just go ahead and make sure that you're not your content is not badly written, grammatically correct, research-wise correct, link to the source. Make sure that you're linking to the source of your information. Also, check your anchor text ratio. If you have backlinks from a website, if you're buying backlinks, or if you're if you're doing outreach, you probably don't have a say with this. But if you're buying backlinks, which is also fine, I buy backlinks too. But if you're buying backlinks, you want to check the anchor text ratio. And this is something I'll talk about later on in this video towards the end, where I go into detail about the anchor text ratio. But you shouldn't have more than a 5% exact match anchor text ratio. Most people used to say, most SEOs used to say 20%. But from the beginning of this year, I've not been more than 5%, and I've seen good results. So 5%. If it's more than that, reach out to the webmaster from where you got the link. Ask them to change it to a naked URL or any other types of URLs. I have examples later on in this video. You can take a look. Also, you want to emphasize more on naked URLs as a general rule of thumb. So when you're in doubt, just a naked URL or a partial branded URL text. For instance, if your brand is XYZ and you're trying to target car sales as your keyword, so you can do XYZ car and then the city, NYC, New York, Dubai, or whatever. Just use a partial key phrase hooked up with your brand name, and then have use that as an anchor text. Whenever you in doubt, a naked URL or this brand press partial key phrase anchor text is your best bet. The next thing you'd want to do is you want to remove all AI generated content and poorly written content from your website. Now, this is a no-brainer, really. I'm not sure why this is going to be controversial, but if your website has been hit, it's most probably one of these things. If it has AI generated content or poorly written content, you hire a cheap writer to do it for you, probably redo all of that content. Now, there are exceptions to this. There are places where AI generated content would work fine. For example, you can have AI generated content in the About Us page and the Cookies page, Terms of Service, Legal Agreement. Usually these are pages that people don't read as much, and Google knows that. So if you have AI generated content in all these pages, then that's fine. When you're auditing your content and you're changing your content, obviously you can't do the entire website if it's a large website at the same time. That is something I understand. Even if you have a large team like mine, you probably can't do an entire website at the same time. So you'd want to go at this step by step. So start with the homepage. That's the first thing that a search engine see and people see. So start with the homepage, fix the homepage and the service page. And then once you've done all the service pages, the home page, then go ahead and start working on your blog posts. If you are a review website, for instance, work on the reviews on your website. Start with the review that used to get the most traffic on your website. Fix that, and then go from there. Go to the ones that did not get enough traffic, and just go ahead and start working your way and improving. One of the things that I've learned is that if you're redoing the content on your reviews, for instance, if you have a review website or as an affiliate, make sure that you put in you mention right at the top that this has been updated, and put in an updated, and then the date it was updated, and that tells Google that this page has been updated and this is the latest information. And if there is new information about something, just make sure to mention that in the page. Again, hire a writer, do it yourself. It's really up to you. If you're on a budget, probably just do it yourself. If you're a good writer, do it yourself. The next thing you'd want to do is make sure that your reviews, this is especially true for affiliate websites and people who run review websites, the affiliate links, is that you should have a bio at the bottom of each review. I mean, you don't have to have like 4 different bios. You can have just a single bio. You can have your own bio. Just make sure that your bio, a short description about you, is in the footer of your blogs, and it should have your real picture. And then don't use AI generated pictures. I know a lot of people do that. Google can tell the difference. I've tested this, and Google can tell the difference. So you do not want to mess with that. Just make sure that your bio looks real. I have some more information about this later on in the video, but for now I would say that make sure that your bio looks real, with a real picture, with a real description of yourself, and go from there. So the next thing you'd want to do, and this is something that we were talking about in the bio, is you'd want to identify who your writers are on your website. So again, the bio here is important. Have a link from the bio to your social media profiles. The writer should ideally have a Facebook profile, if not also a LinkedIn and Twitter profile. If they don't have a profile, they can create a profile. It's free. Just make sure that you have links from profile to Twitter or Facebook at the very least. This tells Google that this is a real writer who's doing this, and this adds a bit of credibility. My website that did not have a bio, just lost rankings. They went from page 1 to page 2, even though it was human written content, and then all I did was I added the bio, and boom, it was back to where it was. So I think this is a pretty easy fix, and something that can be very easily done and to recover your rankings. The next thing you want to do is you'd want to add infographics to your posts. My testing has shown that Google will prefer a website with infographics as compared to one with not. Even if all things are equal, everything is equal, the one with infographics will outperform the one that does not, because Google sees that as it being helpful to readers, people coming to your website. find that useful, they stay on your website longer, and they find the content useful. And so having that is important. If your human written content is losing rankings, in addition to adding the bio, make sure that you also add infographics, because it's an important part of encapsulating all the facts and figures on your website, product descriptions, comparisons, specs, whatever. Fortunately, programs like Canva make it easy for you to design infographics. It just takes a few minutes. I did it for a few of my websites that I've now recovered, and I do it for all of my money sites. But what I did was I went ahead and I used Canva. I designed some infographics. Took me like 10 minutes really, for some of my websites, and they recovered rankings. Just make sure that you encapsulate the alt text and just make sure that you mention that this is an infographic. So the format I like to use is infographic colon, and then about the infographic, like infographic colon car sales statistics, infographic colon city size statistics. So something like that tells Google that this is an infographic, and it will help your rankings a great deal, more so than people would imagine. But it's worth the effort. It's like 10 minutes of your time. Also, you want to add real images of your products. So if you're reviewing an iPhone, make sure that you have a picture of yourself with the iPhone, your picture of, it can be with your hand even, but this can be doctored. I've not seen, I don't have enough data to tell you that if Google can for sure say that a picture is real, but Google has a database of pictures that keeps matching those pictures against its database. So sooner or later, if you're just using someone else's pictures, Google can pick up on that, and then that would de-rank your review, because Google wants people to write real reviews, and real reviews means that you had the real product and you use the real product and it's a user review. So that would then it will, if it's not this update and it's the next update, and you could be hit. So might as well plan for the future and just get your hands on the product, buy it off Amazon, review it, and then just send it back. It's just that simple if you're making money off your website. The next thing is the anchor text ratio, and this is something I alluded to earlier in the video. The most tried and true advice I've always gotten, and all the gurus keep on telling us, is you need 20% naked, 20% branded, 20% direct, 20% partial, and 20% generic. And this is not relevant anymore. If this is the advice you've been following, well, comes at no surprise to me that you've been hit, because Google does not look at anchor text ratios as being as percentages. You can have 21% branded, you can have 22% branded, you can have 19% generic. It doesn't have to be precise ratios, and Google doesn't look at that. Google is really looking at link spam, and so Google wants to see if the backlinks coming in have been purchased, or if there are real links. And Google has this profile of what it sees as real links, and I can go into that in a very long video, but primarily what Google sees is what's called unnatural link building. And so it can tell if your link profile is unnatural, and if you follow these ratios, you're telling Google that you're using an unnatural backlinking tactic that is not acceptable to them. And even though they might not flag you or send you a message that you're using this, you're still going to be deranked, you're still going to lose rankings, you're still going to lose traffic. So what have I found works? Well, new anchor text ratio now, if you want to rank, is loosely follow. You don't have to follow this to the T. Loosely follow this ratio. 25% branded, 30% naked, 5% direct, 30% partial, and 10% generic. And you can modify this by 4 or 5%. I wouldn't mess around with the direct, and by direct I mean if you're trying to target car sales Dubai, don't have more than 5% for car sales Dubai. unless you can do unless you can partially break it down, and that's what's called partial anchor text. So car sales, and then your company name or something like that, or discounted car sales. Just modify that. Come up with different variations. I would have a video maybe about coming up with different variations for your branded anchor text, for your direct anchor text as well. But for now, just follow this ratio. Audit your backlinks, as I mentioned earlier, and you will see a positive difference once Google actually gets down to indexing this, and this is going to be a whole different matter. Um, Internal links are now more important than they ever were before. Most people just, they don't really think too much about their internal linking, and they use outdated methods, and that's why, many of them don't rank. So think of building internal links that identify your entity. So I put in identity, I meant entity. So your entity of Google sees websites as entities, and it looks at the data as an entity, or at least it tries to. It's not very successful right now, but it's becoming better at this. So what you'd want to do is link to articles and parts of your website that readers would find useful. Now, the most common strategy that I've always hear people talk about, even some of the SEO gurus, is just link to parts of your website that you want to pass link juice to. That is no longer relevant. You should link to what readers will find useful, and obviously you should write for readers. So use anchor text that does not elicit an action. So usually anchor text like click here or go here today or instead elicits an action. So instead of telling users to click here or go here, um, motivate them to do it. So learn more about this product, or you can find out more about this here, or our data of this product suggests this. To use this as your anchor text instead of your click here or go here. Google sees this as just being internal linking spam, and that's not going to be good for you. Also, Google can tell you're not building internal links for bots, because of the bot will come on. Bots are now, Google just updated their bots, by the way, so the bots will come on, and then they can tell that whether you're building links for humans or you're building links for them. So this is a very important part of your on-page SEO. So while there's more to SEO, internal linking and entity SEO, something I'll talk about later on in another video. But for now, this should suffice. This is where you should start, and that's it. So there you have, folks. Follow these steps, and you will not have a problem recovering your website from Google's algorithm update. This has been a brutal update. I'm not going to fudge my words here, but most of the sites that were hit because they were following outdated tactics. Google has been warning about these tactics, and people have still been following this. If your website has been following these tactics, there's no, um, I'm not surprised that it's going to be hit. So, I hope you guys found this guide helpful. If you have a question, leave a comment below. Otherwise, like and subscribe.